Hiring someone to tell your story is a big deal. Not only will your audience judge your brand by the quality of your product, but sometimes you find that just getting to that end video is a horrible experience. Nothing gives me more anxiety than when I hire a vendor to carry out a project and they immediately get to work. I have no idea what they're going to make, and I find myself begging them to ask me questions so I can get some sort of assurance that they listen to me. Whenever that happens, it never ends well. I end up hating what they give me and wasting my time, weeks of my time, revision after revision, forcing this thing into some level of usefulness. You know what I'm talking about. You end up paying for a terrible product as well as a terrible experience. And it's all because the vendor didn't take the time to understand your goals and they didn't have a process to properly execute them. So I've created my process to pretty much remove this entire situation. Basically, we start with the end in mind and then reverse engineer our way there, essentially front loading all the decision making and removing that revision war that you and I are so fond of. Just because this is a documentary does not mean we're shooting from the hip. Our goal is to be efficient and remove as much risk as possible. I take the time to understand your goals and thoroughly research the topic. We even call all of our subjects ahead of time and conduct a pre-interview phone call. Now, there's 2 reasons for this. Number 1, I have a better understanding of what they're going to say. And number 2, I've now built rapport with them, and because we're now familiar with each other, we end up getting a better interview on camera. Now we pull all of that research together using timeless storytelling frameworks, and we create our story plan. Now this plan's got everything, and the beauty of it is that not only do you get to see and know what we're gonna say, how it's gonna look, we help you understand how it's going to feel. We show you how all of our creative decisions will impact your audience emotionally and move them to the point of action. Now granted, it's your story, but ultimately it's for your audience. And if they're not moved, you're wasting your money. We're not telling stories just so we can be creative. We're working with you to design a targeted messaging solution for your audience that affects them emotionally and rewards their attention. Now I mean it, we work with you. You get the opportunity to customize this plan to your liking before we record a single frame. But keep in mind, this is a documentary, so we're filming life here. There's always a margin of error, but the plan's not perfect, but it is a sure bet. And on average, there's about a 20% delta between what you're gonna see in the plan and what you're gonna receive in the finished video. The main importance here is the outcomes. We never deviate from what we're setting out to do. And with this plan in place, the majority of our projects are approved within 3 revision cycles. So that's what we offer, an efficient process that produces an effective product. So what are you waiting for? Let's turn attention into action.